Okay. Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to start with a few new features on the video application. This video is going to be, it's quite unplanned actually. The only homework from my side is basically, I don't know, let me see if you guys can see my screen. First of all, no, I haven't shared my screen. So let me do that. Right. This kind of a structure should work. Okay. So yes, what I am trying to do today is in my video application, I want to have a functionality of a course, the concept of a course, and a course will have chapters. Okay, that's the basic relation which I want. And then what will happen is each chapter will have multiple videos, and that's how we will be able to create courses. So let's get started with this particular thing in mind and see how things work out. Now, obviously, the first thing is let me quickly create the entities. The last time I did my live through the laptop was quite difficult to operate, and I don't know whether it will work today or not. So I can see that my terminal window, for example, is behaving a bit weird. That's fine. I'll create from here. This is my Next.js code base. I don't need that. This is my Laravel code base. So initially, I'm only going to work on the Laravel code base. First, do the APIs, and then we will see how much time we have to work on the front end. Okay, PHP Artisan make model. I need the migration factory controller for course. Okay, and similarly for said was chapter. Okay. So these two are created. Let me, okay, this is indexing. I will keep this thing on top. That's one area where I don't have too many things. Right. So I have name, user ID, description is active, and student count. Student count, what I have in plan is to keep the number of students who took that particular course, or they at least started that particular course. Okay. We can, right, I think student count is fine. So let me go to the database migrations. Right. Name, user ID, description. I have foreign ID, user ID. Hi Bhushan. Hi Tanzim. LMS site? No, not really. You can say it's some kind of a copy of maybe Udemy, because LMS is where you have e-learning content, right? It's where, I mean, they have a lot of packages and yet things like that. But yeah, a little similar, but I would say Udemy is more appropriate. Okay, this is strange. Why can't I see anything beyond this point on my screen? I'm not sure if you guys can feel that as well. Is it a stream specific issue? Because I never faced this kind of a problem before. Okay, anyways. User ID, what was there? Else we have name, description, is active, and student count, right? So a boolean is active. Now, few people also suggest having a timestamp and naming the row, or no, rather the column as, is activated at or activated at. So if the timestamp is null, then it basically means you haven't activated it, which is also a good thing because you are then capturing two informations. But somehow what happens is when you are working on a front end, the null check is a little irritating. So you can, with a boolean, you can always do a true false. That's the reason I just prefer that. But again, it's personal preference. You can always switch that. I am going with a boolean value. And unsigned integer, student count. Let's have default 0, is active. Default should be 0 as well, because no course by default will be an active state. So I don't think value of 1 will be the appropriate thing to do. Okay, so basically then I can go and do a create without even passing the is active, and that will take care. Okay, so course model, uh, the fillable, okay, no, it's not a function, method dollar fillable, and here just copy name, this, and this. Fine. Okay. It does happen nicely in Visual Studio Code. It's getting the alignment for some reason. Fillable is done. What else? Right. Let's define an API. This is admin. Is this going to be an admin route? I still can't see beyond this. Let me stop sharing the screen and try once more. Otherwise, I think I'll have to change my editor from PHP Storm to something else because I can't really see anything beyond this. Stop sharing. Okay, no, it doesn't work. Let me close it out and open code. Okay. It will take some time to reindex things, I'm sure. Try StreamYard on Chrome. It happened with Steve before. Oh, is it? I don't know. Now, if I try to stop it, maybe it will. Yeah, it will stop this stream, right? Okay, let me see. Am I able to see the entire thing over here? Okay, this is good. I think I'm able to see this, so might actually work. What was I looking at right now? So I have my course model. It's kind of slowing down things. I didn't want this to happen, but that's how I think a developer's life is. You have to bear with unexpected things. Okay, so in VS Code, things are working fine. I don't know what was happening. Is it a bug with PHP Storm? I don't know. Maybe I'll file a bug away. Okay, so this is done, and I was inside api.php. Okay, it started raining. So you might hear some sound. Okay. Oh, we have route post, course, course controller, class, store, name it as course.add. Okay, this much is fine. Again, if I have already told you, we can write the test immediately and first start, make them fail. But I know that's a logical thing. So the best thing is at least first try to get the basic things right. Okay, so this is done. PHP Artisan make test. Let's have a test for create course. So create course test. Tanzim, I need to see how much I will be able to cover in an hour or so, because APIs are the first thing. And generally, I'm a little slow with React. So, what I generally prefer to do is first get the code in place and then I record videos, especially for React, because um, I'm primarily a Laravel, backend developer with a little bit of React knowledge. So, let's see. First thing which I would like to test is I had already written a test which says not allowed to guest method and route, correct? So I will do it is not allowed for guests. This is where PHP Storm was very helpful, because these methods would have very easily hinted, but that's fine. Method is post, route name is this is not bad as well. I think it's PHP IntelliFence or something like that, which I'm recently trying out. This plugin is quite nice actually. Let me run the test. Okay, this is fine. Basic one more test which I need to have. Yes, Tanzim. It's just API and testing. That's primarily what I'm trying to do right now. Okay. Second test is it needs basic field info. So what are the basic fields that we will need? Let's look at the course model. Add name, description. Okay. Student count is not required. Is active is not required. User ID will be part of the, I would say, the auth thing, right? So we don't need to pass that. So two fields are required. And what we will do is, let's just say this. Well, I will get a user. The user equals user create. Let's see what are the user factory methods I have. User factory definition is only one. There is one unverified and there is one admin. Admin I don't need, so that's fine. Go over here. This acting as $user JSON name will be course add, pass an empty array, then assert status code 422. First of all, this is something which I would like to assert, and then also add the JSON thingy. So failed, it said fine. Now let's add the basic validation. This validate send request name required minimum 3 rels. I don't want a unique or anything, so I think this should be fine. Description, let's have it at 5 maybe. Okay, so now that is obviously coming, but I have just validated the status code, which is not actually enough. I should also validate that that particular error is, no, I mean, is also asking for specific fields. Assert table JSON. Okay. JSON. I think first one is has errors. And this is the minimum which I want. Let's see. Okay. Errors, and then it should have errors.name and description. So what I can do is directly do name and description. Right. Now this looks correct because I'm first of all asserting that I'm getting a status code of 422. So if my front end wants to have certain kinds of error messaging component, or we are attaching any behavior to the 422 status code, I can assert that the validation is happening. Sorry. And also I'm asserting that in the validation I'm getting these two fields. Okay, so this is done. Next, creates an entry to database, maybe something like this. So let's do user factory. Okay, copy this, some post data so that it's easy to send across. Name, description. I think I can use the faker in here. It will be useful. So you with faker and this faker sentence. Sentence method should basically give me something is not less than 5 maybe. Okay, and then what I will need to do is this request can just go through, and then I will assert database has, so my courses table, and then array of data. So name is post data name, like this. This should fail, obviously. It doesn't find it. So let's first do that. Take this data as post data. data user ID is dollar request user ID. This should give me the user ID, and then course equals create course data, return response this 201. Let's see now. This is passing, which means now we are persisting the course. Now there is one more thing. This data is something which is my habit from working in my company. Because we have a global service, an HTTP service, where we always take the response.data.data and then pass it on. So everything which is coming from the API is part of a data additional key. Okay, and that's why I've done that. Otherwise, you can also do something like this, which is absolutely fine, or even not in an array. Even this is going to be perfectly fine. But yeah, I think I'll continue to have similar code structure so that it is easier for me. Okay, and now I'll need to assert basically two things. I have asserted that it's in the database, but I do need to assert that um, the status code which I'm receiving back to the front end will be a 201. 201 is generally when we have some successful insertion into the database. So first add that. It sends proper status code. I'll be able to pretty much take a lot of things from here. Okay. Status code 201. And should I also, no, I'll not assert the user ID here. I'll have a separate test. It adds correct user ID. I'm duplicating a lot of code in here, you can see. So I may decide to refactor it a bit, especially the user can go into the setup method. This can become a private variable or something like that so that I can reference it. But yeah, so assert JSON. JSON etc is the first thing which we should have, and then do some dump. Okay. And we will see what is coming, and then based on that you can write your test. So I want to first of all ensure that the user ID is exactly what I have. So there data dot user ID is user ID. Now this is a closure, so I need to get the user like this. This is something where PHP Storm is quite good. It tells you about the scope. Okay, where this is done. And maybe what I will do is also do I need to validate the ID? I don't. I think that's fine. Nothing else is required, so I'll just remove this. Okay, it's fine. Obviously, nothing will break elsewhere. I haven't done anything to deserve that kind of thing. So fine, this is done. Now what? Course is there. I need one API which will list courses, but before that, let's see, I have is active. Correct. So let me have one controller method which is only to activate a course or deactivate a course, because I will then have a some kind of a toggle button which activates or deactivates a course. Okay, so let's see. Also, what I will do is I'm trying to think it through. Let's say in the UI we have a multi-select kind of thing. So my API, what it will do is um, it will take an array of IDs, okay, and it will activate all the courses for which the IDs are coming, with obviously one condition, that the courses should be owned by that particular user. So let's start with that. Route host course. You know what? I don't think I need this. So course activate course controller. Activate. Right. Name like this. Okay. Again, I have my test, so later on slowly I will refactor things so that I'm starting to use services and all. If I would have done that right now, the video will become very big and I want to cover as much as possible. So activate request and return request all is fine. And this is create course. I'll have one more test, make test course activate test. I like having small tests for each functionality so that you don't have a very big test class and you're dealing with a lot of tests. The description becomes quite easy. I'll show you one more reason. Course. One more thing is, when I sometimes try to go through what all functionalities are done, what you can do is run PHP Artisan Test, and this kind of I would say output, right? It is so easy to basically go through the tests. For example, YouTube URL test. It validates correct YouTube URLs. It validates wrong URLs. It allows admins only. This is for admin video list. It shows unpublished videos. So you can see, just by reading the name of the tests, you can get a basic documentation about what the application is doing. And hence, it is a better thing to have the smaller blocks. So create video test. It creates a new video. It returns video and response. It returns an unpublished video. It is so easy to read. It's almost like a story that you are reading and you understand what is happening inside the application, right? So smaller classes, with very specific duty for that particular class. Use refresh database. Okay. And we are saying it steal a little bit of code from here just to save some time. Where is it? This is fine. And okay, this is the only thing which I can use actually. So fine. Even then, name of the class is this PHP Unit Filter. I'm sorry if you are not sure what is happening. So this is PHP Unit Filter. And PHP Unit Filter is something which I do, like PHP bin PHP Unit Filter equals this. That's what PUF is for me. All right. So I have one test which ensures that it is not for guests. Now it should accept an array. Okay. of IDs. Time to steal some code. Create a user. And then this. Okay. Import the user class. Course activate. And right. This should result in what? Insert status code. Insert status 422. Okay. Now let's see. Obviously, it will not get this. Validate request. IDs required. And what is this array? And I need to check the documentation if I'm correct on this, but I'll understand. Okay. This passing the test because I'm doing a negative test over here, which is I'm asserting that it's a 422, which is fine. Now let's see. It activates the courses. Okay, let's just say I have this. I need to send some course IDs, right? How do I do it? So $course is equal to course factory. Obviously, I haven't created the factory, so I'll have to do that now. create. All right, course factory. Here, name this figure. Just add word maybe. Okay. Description. Sentences here. Then is active by default is 0. And one more thing was there. User ID, user factory, create ID. One more. I think it was what? Student count. Create course database student count. Let's start with a 0. Code swap says thanks for this. You're welcome, code swap. Okay. By the way, that's a pretty funny name. Okay, so student, and let me do one more thing. Like I had, a different definition. What they call it in factories is state. Correct. So let me have one more state for my course. It is an active state for a course. Okay, so user factory. No, this is not a user factory. This is course factory. Is active. 1. Okay, this is fine. Now let me come here. I said active or is active. Oh, my bad. Function name was not there. So active create. Let's do a DD so that I'll get dump and I'll see what is coming up. Class course not found, which is fine. Model is getting created, ID is coming, so this is fine. User ID was there. Yes, it's there. So fine. We are doing things properly. The user ID 2 came in because when I created the model, uh, the course model within the factory, it used the user ID, which was part of the factory again. So it created one more user on this line, and that's how we got user ID 2. Okay. Now, let me create one more. Or how do I actually get multiple IDs? I can do manually, but I don't really want to do that. Let me, okay, first of all, let me create active, create is there. And what I'll do is in array, I'll pass 1, 2, and 4. Okay. I'm still not, sorry, I'm not still doing any assertion in here. So assert status code of 201, maybe. I think I'm making database changes. This is something which I'm generally a bit confused, but let's go with this for now. And so what is going to happen? Inside this controller, I'll get a set of IDs. Post data is this, dump post data. Okay. Oh, sorry. ID is this. So now this should work. No. Oh. IDs. What am I doing? What is happening? Test response, course active, line 40. Course activate. I'm sending an array and I'm expecting IDs. Is this failing because of the array? Yes. So check the validation documentation. Let me quickly go over there. Laravel docs. Available rules. And we have array. Okay, this is the field under validation must be an array. When additional values are provided to the array rule, each key in the input array must be present. So what he has done is, this is the input, validate make array colon username. Okay. So why is it not working for me? It's an array required. This is where it is failing. No, it's not. It's a bit strange. Undo. Oh, I really didn't get that. Maybe if you guys got what was the problem initially, maybe you can let me know. But I really don't see a problem in here. What is happening inside my test? I'm sending this. Anyways, so I'm getting the IDs. The first thing which I need to do is check whether the request which has just we have received Oh, Amit Verma says that the file was not saved. Is that? Oh, okay. Fine. Thanks, Amit. So yeah. Um, so I'm getting the IDs. Now, obviously, what I need to do is I need to first validate that the sequence is correct. If it is not, I will throw a validation error. Okay. How do I do that? Let's just say we have count, sorry, dollar count equals, we have course where user underscore ID is part of request user ID. Okay. And wherein ID post data ID count, not coconut. It's coming up to something like a coconut, but anyways, it's a typo. Right. What I'm saying is when I am making an API call and I'm sending that set of IDs, the count should match. Okay. Let's see. Failed. Obviously, it will fail, but there's some error. Let me open up my log file, clear this, and run once more. Undefined index ID. Line 31. Line 31 of course controller, wherein. Oh, sorry. Please. My bad. All right. Now, what happened is I got 0. Why? Because my user ID is not matching. Correct. So that's what I wanted to basically test over here, which is, see, now if I do something like user underscore ID is user ID, I'm getting 3. I'm passing 3. So what I am trying to ensure here is that the IDs which are coming from the API to the API from the front end, first of all, they should match. I mean, all the um, video courses should be present in my database, and they should actually belong to that particular user. So these two queries, when we fire together, even if one video is from a different user, it will fail, and that is something which we are going to test, so that that kind of security is there. But yeah, we are basically getting there, right? um, if count not equal to equal to, let's say the count is not equal to what, count of post data IDs, then get the syntax validation message. Oh, throw validation. Let me see. Will I get that? Throw validation exception with message. Okay, yeah, fine. I need to throw a validation exception with message. It takes an array. In that array, we will have IDs, and it takes something called all the, there is problem with the course IDs. Okay. Now, if it passes, what we will do is course where in ID IDs date state is active 1. Okay. Return response. Now in here, what I will do is just send 204 because it will be an empty response. I don't see any value of updating or sending anything to the API. Okay, am I doing a success status code? Yes, this is going to be 204. Okay. Now it is obviously not activating the course right now because I'm not checking that, but I'm just asserting a status code. But let me first check the negatives. Okay, then we will go into the positive test. Okay, so right now what I'm seeing is I am creating 5 and I'm sending 1 to 4, but if I send 7 it should then give a 422. So let's see, do we get that? We do. So again, if you didn't get that, what I'm trying to do is I created 5 courses. Okay, and all of them were from a different user, sorry, from the same user. So 5 courses by user ID, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 6 and 7 doesn't really exist, which means when it comes over here, it will get a count of 2 and I had sent 3, so it will not match, and hence this validation will get triggered. So obviously we need to assert that as well. Assert JSON. Assertable JSON. See, oh, we are already, how much time has passed? This is started at 3:30. I'm touching almost 1 hour. That's really slow. Anyways, explanations also take time, but hence has errors dot IDs. But I would be able to cover a lot of things, but I'm kind of getting a little slow. Maybe I'll speed up a bit. So the negative is there. It does not accept course IDs from other user courses. So to simulate this, what I will do is create 2 users. User 2, and then I'll just create 1 like so. User 1. And I'll create 1 more with this. Obviously, because I'm sending an array of IDs, I can send 1 as well. Should not be a problem. So I did that, and now I need to send an API call to this URL with ID as, I don't why I do this. Our course equal this, and let's send 2, right? Because I'm saying it does not accept IDs from other user courses. So I can actually just go with course 2 ID and assert validation, which is not a problem. Let's see, should pass. Okay. User one, sorry. And that's the reason, right? This is passing. But now, what happens if I also send this? Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be very similar to this test. So we don't need to actually create this. What we are basically doing is we are creating two users, and if user one is trying to send ID of a course created by user two, then it shows an error. I'll just copy this part as well. Ensure that ID's thing is coming. This is done. Now, the final thing is we need to I'm thinking, see, so far I have sent active state videos, which is fine because it was a validation, but now I will send a inactive one. Okay. So this time I'm trying to basically assert that the update is happening. It updates, it activates the videos. How do I assert two of them are there? Because assert database, I'll have to see. Okay, let's at least try and get to a place. User is required. I'll copy from here. This piece is required. Okay, so I'm creating a course. I'm creating 5 courses actually, and where is that particular method where I hard coded the things? Okay, not to worry. I'll just write it down. So this acting as a user JSON post active. So I have 1 comma 2. Okay, insert status 204, which is fine. That will, oh, that's not working. Why? 187. No, rather 76. Course activate 1 2. Status code should be 204. Am I getting then? I'm getting 422. Okay, let's see what is the dump. Get some idea. IDs is required. Oh, my bad. Again, the same mistake. Okay. This live coding, you tend to be a little conscious about what you're doing, and so you start making silly mistakes. Okay. Now what happened? Invalid JSON was returned from the route 81. Invalid JSON. Yes, that would happen because I'm not returning anything. That's fine. Okay. The question is, how do can I assert in one condition whether both the IDs were updated. First of all, what have I created? Okay, this is not required. I'm creating 5. Create course factory. If I go to the factory again, by default, I'm creating inactive courses. Okay. Or let's just say we have a specific state which is inactive. So I'll copy this and add here. Okay. Now I'm creating 5 inactive courses very specifically, and I'm trying to make 2 of them active. Now, obviously, one thing is this assert database has courses table. It's going to be a where condition. So ID is 1 is active 1. This is one way of doing it. It is passing. Then let's just say, I mean, I can actually confirm this because if I save now and run the test, it will fail because now the active status is 0. So it didn't get updated. ID. Assert database, multiple IDs. Let me see, is that even possible? Laravel assert database has sent multiple IDs. If not, then I'll have to do a loop. How to see in database? No. Retrieve Laravel model. Retrieve Laravel models results based on multiple IDs. No, this is not what I want. Find many. Okay. Assert database has. Thing ID B. Seems like I misunderstood something. To check several rows, I have to split the test info into separate assertions for each row. Yeah, the map of multiple record fails as a database has function currently only handles a single row by mapping a single row in where clause. To get a better insight, you can have a look. Okay, this is what it is. So I guess I'll have to do something about it. Two IDs equals this, and pass this ID. And for each IDs as ID. Okay. To ID like this. This is fine. So I have 2 APIs. Let me see what all I have covered here. Right. It is not allowed for guests, which is fine. It accepts an array of IDs. It activates the courses. It does not accept IDs from other courses for other user courses. It activates the courses. This is wrong. It accepts an array of IDs. So what has happened is, I mean, this is an incomplete test, and this is the one which I was actually No, this is also not correct because what I can do is right. Let's see. I feel this test is a little incomplete. So if I pass this, it should fail, right? Okay, I have made here. Right. Let me see. That's an array of IDs. This is one. Oh, yeah. IDs. If I pass this, let me filter only to this and see what is happening. Right. This is fine. So this test is kind of complete. This was anyways fine. It is not allowed for guest. That is a very simple thing. It accepts an array of IDs. So I'm just passing a number and it fails. It says, I need an array. So that is done as well. It activates the courses. Now this activates the current courses is wrong. It validates course IDs with user. No, course IDs. So because 7 is not present, we are getting that error, right? So we are saying it validates the validates that course IDs are present. I think that is making better sense. It does not accept IDs from for other users, which is also fine. It activates the not the videos but courses. Okay, right. What else can we cover quickly? Mm, Obviously, I can do the listing. Okay, let's do that. Index. Now, this URL will be required for what? It is the URL where we will see all the list of courses. So, for example, let me see. I hope my um, application on Heroku is active. Otherwise, it will take some time. The Heroku instance is sleeping, so it will take a little bit of time to wake up. Okay. Now, this is a listing of videos by all users, right? So let's say we need an API where I can see all the latest courses. So that's what this will be, latest slash courses, not tied to a user, correct? And latest list. And then what are we trying to do? We are trying to create, let's just say, oops, PA make test course listing test. Okay. Log file I can remove. Store index courses equals Course, right? Course will have query, and then where is active one, order by descending, updated at, no, let's just do created at. Otherwise any update to the course will mean people will start playing with it. That's not fair. And get, not get, but originate. And is there anything else that I would like to add to this condition? So I am trying to list all the courses which are active. Right, that's fine. Return response. $200. This where clause can actually go inside the model. Let me first do that. Scoped queries. I just need the syntax. Query builder, eloquent, query scopes. No. Booted. Scope active, right? Is the okay? I get query as a parameter, and I return the query. Query where is active is 1. So what will happen is in here this becomes this. That's done. And now let's write the tests. Listing test, course listing test is here. Steal the first one, which is this. Let me have a glass of water first. Any questions? No. Okay. So I'll get this listing done and then I'll stop the development. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can put in there and I will try to answer them. Okay, this is done. It only shows whether lists shows active courses, right? So what do we need to do in here? User is user create. I need a course. Factory create. Active course equals this. I can basically create 2 courses and then I'll ensure that I'm getting only one and that one is ID of this. So that should basically validate it. Okay. This as a user is post log, sorry, course course dot latest course list, right? Get call obviously assert status 200. This is fine, but we need to go into details. We are saying that it only shows active courses. So first of all, let's create inactive course as well. So JSON function dump etc. First run this. Okay. Now if I see the data, right, this is the pagination object. What I need to check is that data count is okay. I don't actually need to do that. Come to think of it, I have two videos and I'm getting a total count. I should get a total count somewhere. Current page data, last page, total is 1. If I even, I, yeah, if I could have done, now I am also sorting by the created ad. So one more test which I can additionally think of is if I create 5, right, and this is my 6th, this should be the first one in the list. Let's see. This is going to be a little big, but yes, you can see 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 6 items, and I can actually then do something like I need to check the documentation. Hold on a second. Testing inside testing http tests testing JSON APIs. Oh, what happened? Let me go over here again and fluent JSON testing where understanding etc. This is fine. Where ID, but if I have multiple, has users, user 0 function. Okay, yes. This is what I think I'll have to do. Okay. I'm basically trying to say that where total is 6. First of all, that's the basic thing. Okay. I'll keep the dump for some more time. No, it didn't. Because total is inside data. So now it should pass. Yes, it does. Okay. Then syntax has users dot zero. So data dot 0 function in JSON, right? Dollar JSON. Hey, I am doing a, this is fine. Syntax is fine. Function Oh, sorry, that's the JavaScript inside me which got activated. Sorry about that. So JSON, and now I can do JSON where hmm, where ID and everything it is, right? I do ID and it needs an etc. Yes, it does. So I'll first add that because if I forget about that, it will be a problem. Um, First, let me hard code the ID. I have 5 here. This is the 6th. So does it pass, first of all? No, it is not. Asserting that 1 is identical to 6. That's not what I wanted. Let me see. I do a dump. I should be able to. And I'll close this dump. And so this is ID 1. And if I open this dump as well, QUO. This is the video which I'm looking at, right? QUO. Okay. So I think what is happening is because they are getting created almost at the same time, it is creating a problem. I can actually fake the time a bit. And this is this travel 5 minutes. If I'm not wrong. See, let's try. Okay, so let's look at the created at. This one is 11:22. Exactly. That's what I wanted to see. So this is 11:22 and this is 11:15, 17. Sorry. So there is a 5 minutes gap, correct? And ID is 6. Everything is passing. Now, my only concern here is I have this. I think I need to do a use twice because this is also a closure, right? Let me try without that. I think it will fail. Yes. Undefined variable, which is fine. I'm completely expecting this. Oh, it should pass. Right, it is. So I don't need this dump. This one as well. And I am able to confirm that it only shows active courses. And by this, I'm also confirming that the recent one is coming on top. It shows active courses and recent on top. Let me take a shortcut there. Maybe I'll refactor to have 2 different tests, but yeah, for now, that's the only one. Okay, so yeah, I think the progress is not very good. I took about 1 hour 20 minutes to create what these few APIs. I think I underestimated the time it requires for explanation. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll be um, I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, I'm for today. I'm done. It's almost half an hour. I mean 1.5 hour. In the meantime, so if you guys have any question, you can post it. I'll look at them. Otherwise, let me first commit my code. Let's see what all we have done. Tests I will look at later. API course controller is added. This is fine. 1 2 3 3 and course activate, course add, and right, this is fine. It can go. This is fine. I haven't created this model, so I'll not send it right now. Course factory can go. Yeah, this is fine as well. Course controller. Okay, this is fine. Now the tests. I'll add the readme as well. And it has the document. So fine. The chapter part is something which is pending. Maybe I'll create a video, of explaining what I have done later, because yeah, that will be better. Or maybe I'll do a live later on a weekday or sometime later. So let me see if there are any questions. Otherwise, we can stop. Okay. Yeah, I think there are no questions for now. So I'm stopping this. Can stop sharing. All right, and thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.